start the workshop now. On the.
Okay, we'll it's 5 minutes before. Huh? Mm-hmm. Okay, you go ahead.
Come in.
So you are able to see who is coming in, is it, Jimmy? So far, nobody has come in, huh?
No, four of them.
4 of them come in, yeah, I see. Well, at least you can see, good.
No, you click the attendees, you should be able to see.
Attendees. Oh, you mean participants?
Yeah, attendees, so you can see. A few more come in.
Interesting. I can only see the three panelists.
Oh, okay.
I can't see the other participants on the right-hand side of the screen. How about you, Nantao? Can you see?
Nothing yet. I can see only 3 of us.
Okay, wait. Can you see?
Nope.
Can you see?
No.
Here's the host. And Tom, can you see as a host?
Nope, nothing yet.
You should see you should click attendees, you can see.
There's no, where can I find that attendance?
You know, I can see 8
panel.
Yeah, but I don't have a participant panel. All I can see is that there are eight participants now.
Okay, yeah, I can see 8 participants now. You click that one.
Yeah. But on the right-hand side of the screen, I can't see the other 5.
Because you are here as a guest.
That's right. I think I'm a guest.
Yeah, I cannot see.
That's the host, so you should be able to see.
No, I cannot see yet. 8. There's a space. 8 participants.
Yeah, me too. I can see. So he also has a guest.
Host and guest.
No, but.
Yeah, I can see only 3 of us.
I'm the same. I can see only 3 of us.
Yeah.
But when I look at the bar at the bottom, I can see 9 participants, Jimmy. Okay, almost time to begin. So we will.
Yeah, but there's only 9. 9 of them.
Yes.
So maybe we give another 5 minutes or something.
Let me see whether we can find the share screen. This will stop other screen sharing.
I can see participant 9, but I cannot see the persons.
And you cannot see the display on the right-hand side of the screen, isn't it? Can you see the display on the right-hand side of the screen, Nantao?
Yeah, I can see.
I mute them all. I mute them Because if you see too many, then it's a distraction for us. I mute them all, so you only see the numbers, so you can concentrate. Later, maybe I can see whether I can move them back. In the moment, you can see.
When you say you mute them all,
Yeah, mute them and also the audio also, of the video also.
I see. Mhm.
It's advisable instead of too many on the screen, and then too many people, then it's around.
Mm.
Mm.
I try to go on the screen sharing. I can't see any. I can only see still the three of us.
Yeah, still. And I lost the.
Mm.
No, when the host is sharing, you cannot share.
Yes. At the moment there are 11 participants now. I can see in the AV bar at the bottom, the taskbar.
The 11 of them.
Mm.
So we'll let Yan Tao back to the screen.
Yeah,
Okay.
cannot. What happened?
Mm.
Okay. 11 participants. Now only 3 of us.
Mute me.
The participant can see us. We cannot see the participant.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
is
can
it?
I can't see the participant either. I only can see the name. Can't see the
Mm.
face.
Mm.
It's 9 of them. Let's wait for another couple of more participants.
So I cannot see the participants, right?
Yeah, I only can see the name, but I don't see them.
Yeah.
Jimmy,
Yeah.
I'm going to type a question on the Q&A panel and
See whether you can do it.
and see what's happened. Oh, it doesn't work.
Yeah, panelists cannot. Maybe only the participant.
Oh, I see. All right. That will stop me from asking questions.
Good.
I'll be crowding everybody. Hmm.
Okay, what do you think, Yan Tao? Should we start? We have about 9 only, 9%, which is actually very low. We have 100 people, 9%. So
I cannot see them, right?
Yeah, there's 13 now on the screen.
yeah,
13.
11 include us. Yeah, 13. Okay, some more. 11.
No, 14 now. 14.
Okay.
All right. So maybe Nantao can start. Well, everybody will be coming more. Maybe participants will come in.
Okay. Welcome everybody to our webinar, Managing Sustainable Biofloc Shrimp Farming by Dr. Yan Tao. Before I start, the webinar will be about 1 hour. The presentation is about 40 minutes. After that, the participants can type on the Q&A and the question gets answered. Before I do, I introduce Dr. Yan Tao. Dr. Yan Tao is a well-known biofloc technology stream farming expert. Currently, he is a senior advisor in the Yama Fisheries Federation, ADB consultant and Service Center of Vietnam, and consultant to ADB and the World Bank projects in Vietnam. Dr. Yan Tao earned his PhD in marine biology at the University of Tasmania in 1976 under the Colombo Plan Scholarship. He has served as Chief Technical Advisor and Consultant to FAO, UNDP, UNHR, ADB, and WB. In 1995, he was Senior Vice President responsible for R&D and commercial production at one of the largest integrated shrimp farm, Di Pasina, over 20,000 ponds in Indonesia. He served as Vice President in CP Indonesia, large integrated shrimp farm, 3,700 intensive culture ponds, where he initiated biofloc technology to commercial scale. He joined Blue Archipelago as Senior Technical Advisor and GM in August 2009 to develop a biosecure modular intensive shrimp farm project at Aishap at 1,000 hectares land. From September 2003, he was a full-time technical and consultant to Blue Archipelago until 2015. A well-known speaker at many major international conferences and at many biofloc technology workshops for global farmers and researchers and investors. In addition, he has provided innumerable consultancy for shrimp farming companies in Central America and Southern America, Middle East countries, and in Asia, namely China, Indonesia, India, and Vietnam. Dr. Yan also published and presented over 90 papers, FAO field documents, and training manuals. And with research team, he has published a book entitled Prawn Culture in Burma in 1984. He co-authored a book by Professor Urum on biofloc technology in 2012 and 2014. His recent book is on shrimp farming, intensive shrimp farming system in Asia, commercial implementation of biosecured and biofloc system to help control shrimp diseases, published by Scholar Press. Dr. Yan is a member of the Biofloc Working Committee, Aquaculture Engineering Society, World Aquaculture Society, and a fellow of the Institution of Aquaculture Singapore. Without further ado, I will ask Dr. Yan Tao to do his presentation. Dr. Yan Tao, over to you.
Okay, so my side is, so shall I start now?
Yeah, you can start. I can start. Yeah.
Okay, I cannot see anything. Okay. Anyway, what I'll be talking about is managing sustainable biofloc shrimp farming systems. So you can see my biofloc pond. And what is biofloc? That's what many people want to know. Biofloc is a very simple. It's a micro aggregate diatoms, all the phytoplankton, zooplankton, plus bacteria. Heterotrophic bacteria, which can self-nitrification system, as you can see. And then in the water, you can see start with the green water and then pass on to the biofloc brownish water. And you can see all the size of the biofloc. And you can see what you can find under the microscope. There are many microorganisms, diatom, phytoplankton, zooplankton, everything is there. Depending on the country, depending on the location, the population will be different, the colony will be different. But as long as there's bacteria, heterotrophic bacteria, and the plankton aggregated, then it is a biofloc, you can see. And this is the bacteria you can see. This is the major heterotrophic bacteria which will nitrification purpose. And how it's done is here. This is from Professor Urum. You can see ammonia and what happened if you use biofloc system is that the NO3 will be going down, NO2, which is good, will be going up, you can see. And this is what it's all about. You can see, actually, you can say that this is like a RAS system. It's happening within the pond. right? The upper one on the left side recycling system, that's a real recycling system which has been used by many people, which is very tedious and expensive too. You have to pass through, you have to use pump, you have to pass through many stages, and then finally to the culture pond, and then recirculate it again. Whereas in biofloc technology, it's very simple. As long as you control good nitrification system, you can see the cycle in the recirculation is going on within the pond. You don't need to change water. But the thing is that I always, during my workshops or conferences, we call it zero water exchange. It doesn't mean that you don't change water. You top it up only. You don't change water. Normal water change is about 600 to 1,000% from starting from day one to day. Whereas in biofloc technology, you only top it up. That means maximum is 100%. And this is what happened. I always say that whichever country, whichever location I walk there, I ask how they are doing it. How do they culture, intensive culture? And everybody knows that they are using the old system. Old system is a phyto system. You culture phytoplankton, and then you use phytoplankton to control the disease, everything, vivios. And you can see in my graph, the green is a phytoplankton coming up. And then it stays on in phytoplankton system. Whereas if you use biofloc technology, you start in pond preparation using grain pellet and molasses. There you will have biofloc started to come up. You can see. And then at a certain stage, maybe 1.5 months, 1 month, you change into a biofloc system. But biofloc system means not only biofloc, the bacteria and microorganism is also contain phyto. But the thing is that it's more on the biofloc, which you can see if it is phyto, if you need sunlight to control the phyto. Whereas in biofloc, you don't need sunlight. So if something went wrong, if there's no sunlight, there's a rainy season, there's no such thing as phytoplankton drop. That's a good part of biofloc technology. And this is just a simple system, water condition you can find in your pond. The first class that was 1980s. If something went wrong, you change water. So it's a new water coming all the time, they exchange water. And later on, because of the Vibrio bacteria infection coming up, disease coming up, we use the green water system. So it's a phytoplankton system. So you have, the water is greenish color. And that's to control actually, at that time it's bacteria, to control the bacteria. And later on, now the new technology is, we have phytoplankton, it's more on the biofloc with the heterotrophic bacteria, third portal. And this is a summary. Wherever I go, even in our own farm, the higher authorities, they want to know in one page, what is biofloc? So this is what I prepared in one slide. You can see there are 1 to 9 explanation, which is very good to use for the top people and to the pond operator, the bottom people. You can see number 1 is the stocking density. Normal stocking, optimum normal stocking 130 to 150. Now we are doing it a lower, we call it CME, it's 80 to 1000, BL 10 to 12 per meter square. And then aeration. Again, aeration is, we have already done many trials for the normal biofloc technology. We use 28 to 32 horsepower per hectare. Whereas for the CME, 20 to 24 is enough. But reposition is very important. You can see the photo there. It's water is circulating. And then I will talk about this later on, where the water condition for the shrimp there must be a resting area, feeding area, and the center part is a toilet, we call it sludge area. That's you need to create that. And you need to take out the sludge. And the bowel flow control, you need to control bowel flow, how many mils per liter. So maximum is about 50 per liter for normal. For the CME is about 5 mil per liter. It's different from fish. Fish, you can go up to 50 to 100 according to Professor Uram. So you need to be careful. Some people made a mistake and used the fish volume, about 50. Then in shrimp, the shrimp will die for sure. And then you can use now, the pond is HDPE or concrete. A long time ago, we never thought that we can do it in earthen. Now we can do it in earthen pond too. What is extra we need for the biofloc is a grain pellet. We use grain pellet is from wheat flour, and then molasses. That's to control the CN ratio. And the number 8 is CN ratio should be higher than 15. Now we can do maybe higher than 10 is enough too. And from that stocking, the two type of stocking density, you can get 20 to 25 ton per hectare. The other one is about 13 to 60 ton per hectare. You can see in the picture, the grain pellet, the biofloc, and there's a graph, bluish, yellow, and then there's a graph, there's a growth, feed, and grain pellet, how to use them. And you can see one advantage of biofloc is that you can produce a dark color NMA, which become, when you cook, it become red. So it's for market, it's much better. You can see all the details in the two published my article. One is in World Aquaculture, one is in another one. There you can have details. And this is many people, all the training, they always ask, there's a misunderstanding that you need to have a lot of aeration, which is not totally true. If you know how to use it, you need to make sure that you must know the kind of pedal wheel you use. We use pedal wheel, which is affected to 50-60 horizontally. And then at the tab, you can go down to 1.2 to 1.5. So you need to create living, resting, feeding, and toilet. And you can see efficiency. This is how we work it out. Normal efficiency for normal pond is about 500, 550 only. Whereas for normal biofloc is about 600, 680, nearly 700. That's for the normal pond. But if you do partial larvas, you can get up to 1 ton per horsepower input. And this is just to show you where we got the technology from. This is in Belize. I was there many times. That's where Robert McIntosh was there. He started the biofloc together with advice from Professor Uram. At that time, he can produce 13 tons per hectare, which is at that time in US with Veneme, they can produce only 3 or 4 tons per hectare. And then this is where, with the shrimp, started to take off. And then technology from McIntosh, who was one of my best friends. And this is the first time you can see CP Indonesia. We have about 3,700. This is where we have many trials going on. You can see the bottom comparison, autotroph and heterotroph. At that time, we called it bacteria floc, not biofloc yet. So you can see I have another detailed one. For normal one, the main thing is FCR is 1.4, 1.5, 1.6. With biofloc, FCR is 1. And production is higher too. And this is just to show you what we have done. The first on the left is the first trial. We don't do at that time direct. We just tried in a small pond and then tried in the R&D pond. And once we got the data, we did 26 pond. You can see there in the chart with the CP farm background. The main thing I would like to show is from the 26 pond, the FCR is 1. The production is over 20 ton per hectare, which is very good. from there, we have a protocol. We have been using that protocol. And based on that, we did partial harvesting in another farm that's in Zimbabwe. And there you can get up to partial harvest up to nearly 50 ton per hectare. This is R&D, like I did it like an R&D, you can see. FCR is 1.1 only. And this is for the somewhat like R&D. On the left side, in Bali, they have only 2 hectares. And from the 2 hectares, he can produce about 100 ton 2 cycle per year, which in Bali you can sell it for $8. So he can get about 0.8 million in 1 year. Only a few ponds, only 2 hectare total. And this is just to show you the project we have. You can see the top one with a lot of foams. And in normal culture, if you see that, the pond water is no good. But in biofloc, this is when the changeover from heterotroph to autotroph to heterotroph, the bubble, which is good in a way. And this is iSharp. You can see, you can later on, you can study later on. Right? And another one is the X Bin Laden farm in the north. Right? And you can see you can do what in 90 days to get over 20 tons per hectare, FCR 1.2, 1.3. And this is just to show you the iSharp. So the two, so you can see not that many. In one pond, we have only 15 horsepower only in half hectare. And this is just to show you, you can see the pedigree position, which is like a circular. In the middle, you can see the pipe there. This is where we have a central drain, which the water is going around and around, and then accumulated in the center area, which you can take it out or we can siphon out. And at that time, many people at the conference asked me, can I do it in earthen pond? Can I do it in other species? So I met one guy, John Smith, David Smith, and he was asking, in Australia, only monodon, and we have only earthen pond. Can it be done? For me, I said, I don't know. Why don't you try? And I was surprised after about 6 or 7 months, he sent me this one. It works perfectly well. Right? In monodon, the position is just like I did. He followed everything. He did very well. So now we can say that it can do not only Vaname, you can do it in monodon and in earthen pond. And this is in Myanmar. That's why we have it. Now you can do it in Myanmar too. In the earthen pond, of course, you need to have one reservoir. They have like a module, full pond. I use 1 as a reservoir, 3 pond as a culture pond. It can be done too, no problem at all. And this is in India. India now, there are many people doing it. I've been there many times. There's another Indian with the biofloc system and Professor Uram, they are doing very well. Not only in the earthen pond or intensive, you can do nursery, you can do in small pond too. And this is, again, I was surprised. I was in Saudi with the UN project, FAO. I gave a training there, workshop training. And then they asked, can it be done there? I said, I don't know, because salinity is very high, up to about 40, 50, right? And temperature is about maybe 35, 42. Maximum is that 40. So I said, why don't you try? And they did try, and this is the result I got. You can do too. Only thing is that it's a little bit longer than normal. Has high salinity, high temperature. It can be done. And this is in China. I've been to China a few times. Look at that. It can be done too, but the system is totally covered. And this is just to show you they are doing too in Central America. I've been there 2 or 3 times with the biofloc in Brazil. Last time I was in Brazil. Guatemala, Nicaragua, Brazil, Ecuador, Peru. What is that? There's another one. Okay, this is just to show you that if you need to read, you can download free, I think, from GAA. It's the, what you call it, the old farm. We modified that into the old system, which is different from the new system. They were doing not very well, always having a problem. So they asked me to go and see if anything can be done. So I changed the system into a module system with a reservoir within the module. And you can have, you have semi biofloc, total biofloc, and autotroph too. You can see that in a biofloc you can do in 90 days to get the full as a target 20 tons per hectare. The same thing, this is a modular system. What I'm showing is that because that farm is initially when I designed it for normal treated water, culture, treated and discharged waste. But the Ministry of Environment, they said we are not allowed to discharge into that river because of the turtle endangered species in the river. So I had to recirculate it, which is, in my opinion, works very well too. So you can see the design there. It's already published too. There's a semi-intensive, semi-biofloc and biofloc system. And this is in Vietnam. Small farm, 1 or 2 hectare only. They are doing very well. They use recirculation in small farm. I was there to advise on the 4 farms. So this is 2 farm. You can see everything is there. Again, this is the same thing with the biofloc, with not biofloc. You can do that too. And this is just to show you what Professor Yoram and Sumuka and Texas Ocean Institute did. That's what you call it, intensive recirculating system. And the same thing in US, in Kentucky, they are doing very well too. They can get up to about 4.6 kg per square meter, which is 46 tons per hectare in a way. And this is what I've done in Indonesia, 3-phase. That was a long time ago, 2008, 2009. You can do in the pond, in the raceway too, 51 ton. That means 5.2 tons per square meter. And this is just to show you that not the shrimp are eating the biofloc. And the biofloc contain protein too, protein up to 35 to 50. That's why in the later stage, we reduce the feed, we increase the molasses and grain pellet, and then the flock become thicker. And the shrimps, especially Vietnamese, is eating the organism in the biofloc. And the biofloc protein content is 30 to 50. So now there are many studies going on to use biofloc as a protein source for feed, shrimp feed. And there are many studies going on now. And now with the disease, I'll just run through. You can see the disease, right? There are many kinds. Now another new one is coming from China. Now they found it in India, in Thailand, in Vietnam too. It's a decopod virus. But what I show is only the EMS, white spot, white feces, which is very common now. And this is just to show you how the disease spread. It started for white spot, started in Asia, and then spread all over. And then finally in Australia, that was in 2017. And EMS again is spread throughout the year, throughout the whole world. And what is a biofloc? How it can contribute into to enhance the shrimp production. So you can see this is from Korea, and they found that there are about 2,000 bacteria species, heterotrophic bacteria species in the developed biofloc water. So maybe this is what they are eating, and they found 6 immune-related genes as you can see, pro PO, PO1, pro PO2, as such. And maybe these are the reason when the shrimps are eating, they become immune to the diseases. They found the same thing in a way from Indonesia and in Malaysia as well, from the universities. And the same thing is now more informations are coming out. It can, in nursery too, they can do it. And these are I just go through what we have done, what the Vietnamese government with the project BioFloc too. You can see it's in Burma, okay, and that's in Thailand, and this is in Saudi, and this is more important. This is BioFloc basic management concept. BioFloc or semi-BioFloc is now we have before only, you can say we call it just BioFloc, stocking density high and produce high. Now we can do semi too with the lower CN ratio. And number 2 is zero exchange, only topping up. Some farm I went there, they follow me to the letter. They don't change water, and of course the shrimp dies. Number 3, earthen pond. That's what we believe. Now it can be done in earthen pond, lined pond, and concrete pond too. Aeration, you need to check aeration. As I showed you in the first earlier slides, you need to make sure that aeration system is good, not too high, not too low, to create living, dining, and toilet area. We have been doing it a long time ago. And position is very important to create those things. Excess sludge need to be removed, either by central drain or by siphoning. Otherwise, the BioFloc will increase more than 15 mils per liter to about 30, 40. Then you will have started to have problem for sure. And people made mistake, confused with the fish. They keep it longer. The higher, the better, they thought. No, this is not true. The highest is about 20. So I keep it as 15 ml per liter, 7. And the CN ratio, more than 15. Now we can do more than 10 is good enough too. The extra one is molasses and grain pellet. Of course, you must operate in the normal way. Make sure that you follow the protocol. And BioFloc as biosecurity, this is very important. Zero exchange, that means water coming in, lower risk. We use only treated water. In many of the old farm, their reservoirs are very big, right? It's about 1:1, which you cannot be treated, cannot treat it anymore, big one. So make sure that your treated water, treated reservoirs are small, which you can treat and use it because you don't need much water. Aeration, yeah, you need to have a BioFloc floating all the time. So you need at least about 20 hours in one day to have it recirculating. So the more oxygen, the better for the flock and for the shrimp too. And the phytoplankton crash in the normal system. We don't have that stretch. From China, from the South China Sea Institute, the professors I met, they were surprised that during the typhoon one time, all the other shrimp ponds were infected and gone. Only 4 BioFloc ponds survived. And they were using BioFloc. And then they want to know if their BioFloc is a real BioFloc or not. And they talked to me, they called me, and they came and looked at it. Yes, they did very well. Still, once you have oxygen going, epidemic going on, of course, DO and pH are stable too, which is very good for the shrimp. And then natural food is coming in, and natural food protein 30 to 50. The shrimps are eating it. And more than 2,000 bacteria, heterotrophic bacteria in the water. This is just like a probiotic effect too. And BioFloc contains 6 immune-related. Maybe shrimp, the immune system is you must eat every day. So these are the BioFloc as biosecurity. And this is just to show you what you need. Basic economics. Zero exchange, self-unification, very stable DO, pH, low FCR 1.2, efficiency 680 to 1 ton per horsepower. You don't need probiotic. I never use probiotic because this is a natural probiotic. And dark shrimp, it can be for market purpose, is better. And these are the, you can see all the propagation. If you want to have more detail, you can have the book too, in the book too. Okay, I think this is it. And this is the original in 2006 in the US. I think that's all. Am I doing it too fast?
Okay, can the participant type on the Q&A screen? Somebody type any questions you want to ask on the Q&A screen. Let's see whether it works because I'm quite new to the system. So we have to do something participant.
I just go and have a glass of water.
Yeah, okay, you can take a break. Any participant, can you type a Q&A for Dr. Yan Tao? You have any questions? Any questions?
I don't see anything yet.
Yeah, no, there is one question coming up. Yeah.
Where will I see?
How about the placement of aerators if the pond, there are questions coming up. Probably can see. Can you see?
I don't see. I cannot see yet. No. If you can see what you can do.
How to measure the Biofloc 2000 bacterial types? Asked by Eric Lim.
How do I?
First, how to measure the Biofloc 2000 bacterial types?
This is not what I've done. This is one time the Korean, they asked me, Professor Yoram, and Professor Sumuka to Korea, and on the study tour, right? Study tour means we give talk and then we can share. And at that time, they asked me, like what you said, what bacteria, we don't know. So they started to work, and it's their finding. It's one of the PhD student finding. They found it. So it's not me who found that 2000 bacteria. It's the academic from Korea. And they're immune related too. Not easy. You must have a good facility like in Korea, maybe you can do.
The second question by Mr. Naidu, pedal wheel aerators versus air blowers. Which is the more efficient for aeration?
Both. The best is, what I use now is that you can see in my, one of the paper, what do you call it? The pedal wheel position, we have a pedal wheel, which is create a current and clean the bottom, right? And on the side, not crossing, you can have aeration there. So 1 hectare, you can have aeration system so that the pedal wheel will be running, which is creating a current, cleaning the bottom, and pushing the water to the front, what do you call it? Pedal wheel, right? The pedal wheel is to create the current and clean the bottom. And the side of the current, you put the aeration in. That's the best way to do it. To me, in the pond, pedal wheel alone can do it, and then better pedal wheel and aeration system will be the best. But aeration, only air stone aeration alone, many want to do it. But in the pond, it's not that easy because you cannot clean the bottom and you cannot take out the sludge. Whereas in our system, in the center is a little bit depression where you have a central drain with the pedal wheel position put in such a way that the water will be circulating and accumulating the sludge into the center, which we can take it out. At the same time, with aeration, which is much better, the oxygen dissolved by the created by the airstone will be taken by the current from the pedal wheel. Both, you use both is the best.
Okay, the next question by Jewett. Are the heterotrophic bacteria natural occurring or needs to be inoculated with a proprietary bacterial strain? These are always the common questions.
Yeah, but the thing is that was when I was in Indonesia in about 1995, 96, we tried, at that time, they have started to have probiotics coming out, right? We tried, and I don't find any difference between the normal and the probiotic at the time. I don't want to name the companies, right? And when I got to the CP Indonesia, it's a big company, again, the probiotic people came to me first. I said, I can try, but if it is good, I will use it. If not, I cannot use it. And then again, we went to the chairman of the CP at that time, Indonesia, and they said, what shall we do? I said, I don't mind trying. I'm always want to try. So I try with whatever products they provide, and I use their technician, right? During that time, say about 10, we use 10 pound, 6 pound is with the probiotic, and 4 pounds at the control. And after harvest, we don't find any difference. I don't want to name the company, right? So again, in Malaysia too, same thing. We try again, and I don't see it different until today. But to me, what we did, now the Korean found that there are naturally heterotrophic bacteria in the water. You promote that, it becomes a biofloc. Maybe that is the reason. So all the probiotic people, I told them, show me when you put this species, is it thriving in the water or not? They cannot prove anything to me. I've tried it in Indonesia 2 or 3 times, big companies. Malaysia, 2 companies try. I don't see much different. So I don't use it. I've never used it. The only thing I use it is that what we used in Indonesia long time ago, 1988 or 1990s. We have a big bin with some, carbon source, protein source, and we put some pond water, we ferment it, and then they put bluegrass every day. It's like a natural bacteria from the pond. You inoculate it and ferment it and use it again. This is what we have. This is, to me, it seemed to work because there's no, the bacteria is naturally occurring bacteria in the pond water.
Okay, a question from Shakib. Can we use Nitrobacter with biofloc?
What is nitro? Sorry.
Nitrobacter, probably some kind of probiotics, I think. Can we use Nitrobacter with biofloc? Maybe
I
for
don't
startup?
know. I don't know. I've been to many conferences, many shows, like India and Vietnam too. There are many stores with full of probiotics, many brands. So I have no idea. You try it out. I will not say which is good or bad, but the probiotics or prebiotics I've tried, I don't see any difference in the pond water. But many people say that in the hatchery, it works. In the pond, nobody can show me. And then I try. I cannot find any difference with the biofloc. I've been in this business.
Okay, another question from Eric Lim. How to adjust the right balance of algae to bacteria in the biofloc? Is there a right ratio?
Yeah. It's a right ratio. Me, I show in my first slide the greenish water and brownish water. Right. This is initially I always do. I ask whichever location I am in, whichever company, I talk to the technician there, how they culture shrimp, how they prepare the pond water before stocking. And I still ask them, do as you have been used to. But only in addition, you use molasses and grain pellet. There you can promote, become biofloc in about, after 30 days, 40 days, it's changed into biofloc. But these will be in my 2 papers. I show you the propagation with the World Aquaculture Society. There will be detail. How much to use during the pond preparation, how much to use during operation time, right? So everything is there in detail. And because now this is only an introduction, I don't put the details. So everything is there. Everything is there.
Okay, another question by Jewett. Have you tried indoor system without sunlight, resulting in flock without phyto? Are there any benefits without phyto being produced?
No problem, no problem. We try Indonesia. We have a raceway system. It's covered. It's covered means there's under the roof. You can do that too, no problem. In fact, for the raceway, what I did is in another tank we have tilapia, and tilapia is to develop biofloc is very fast. So we have tilapia and develop biofloc, and we scoop it maybe 1 liter, 2 liter, and then introduce it and inoculate it to our raceway system, which is no sunlight too, no problem at all. But in the big pond, I don't know, not easy. But in the raceway or tanks, it can be done. So what we did in Indonesia with the Global Gen is that we have biofloc produced by tilapia, good biofloc, not what is settled down like a sludge. It's a floating good one. You check in the microscope, you can see all the microorganisms are happy and moving about. Then you use that one to inoculate into a raceway system, which is faster. You can do that, definitely. We use I show you in the 3-step culture. This is what we do. Can be done.
Okay, I have a question for you, Dr. Yantau. How do you really start biofloc in the big open pond? You started with feed and molasses when you together with the green water, and how long it will take to develop the floc?
That's why, okay, can I go back?
Okay.
Yeah, this is it. All right, you see the green line and then the red line. So if you follow the protocol in pump operation and in operation after stocking, the biofloc will develop. At first, it's a little bit greenish, like here, green and brown. Initially, only the phyto will come up, and then later on, greenish, brownish, and then brownish will come up. Once you have a brownish color, it will not be totally all the time. It will be up and down, but mostly on the brownish side. Then you have a good one. Even if you have an overcast or rainy, nothing happened. That's what they were surprised in China. They were using the protocol I gave them, and it's a real biofloc going on, and nothing happened with the typhoon. Overcast for a few days, more than 10 days, they said. No plankton drop. This is what happened. There's a protocol.
Okay.
Protocol, you can see it here. You can see World Aquaculture Society shrimp farming in biofloc technology, commercial experience. So this is the one you can download, maybe free. Or the biofloc technology, there's another one, basic field information, where I put all the details. You can see these in the book too. The book is nothing extra. The book is all my publication compiled that into a book. Okay. Next.
Okay, next one question from Shakit. He said, how to place aerators if the pond or tank is circulating? So I really don't really get what they mean.
Oh, circular.
Aerators, yeah.
Yeah. Can be here or here. You see that on the top? This is the basic one we used. It's a half hectare, about 72 meter by 72 meter, which you have running. It's circular. Sludge is there, all right? So if or before you start, you check your pedal wheel. You must know your equipment. How deep the pedal wheel the current can go in. How far it can push, 50 to 60 meter or 40. Like in Belize, the Big John pedal wheel, it can push up to about 100 meters and down up to about 2 meters, right? So make sure that you check your pedal wheel efficiency. In front, how far it can go. So don't be too close. Sometimes people have it very close. So the water is boiling, the shrimp are swimming, they cannot find, there's no resting area for the shrimp too, which you cannot. Then I have seen, because I said so, they put many pedal wheel in, and then after 150 days, the shrimp will be only 10 grams. It happened. Too much aeration. It's not good too. Too little is not good. So like I show you, it's normal is about 30 horsepower per hectare is the best placing it. That to produce about 20-25 tons. If you want to use maybe 30 tons, then maybe about 35-40, but placing is again important. In the pond, you must have living and resting, and the bottom feeding and toilet too, which is very important. You can have any size, round size or rectangular or square. Make sure that you follow this one, the paper I show you now. Anything else?
Are there any more questions from the participant? Just a note from Dr. Yantao. Dr. Yantao will be conducting a live webinar workshop over 2 days. There are some lectures over 2 days. I've already put the circular on Facebook. If you'd like to register, you have to register for 2 days. It's on 18 and 19 of September. So this is a full webinar workshops that the more detail will be, revealed at the workshop. So it's a more detailed one. Today is a very brief. Probably you want to learn more. So please register in the live webinar workshop on the 18 and 19 September. Are there any more questions?
Jimmy, may I ask a question?
Yeah. Carry on.
Dr. Yantao, what are the pros and cons of an open pond and an indoor pond, both using biofloc system?
To me, it depends on the management. Of course, the indoor is better because how would you put it? Outdoor is open to everything, right? On a biosecurity aspect, indoor is better. The outdoor is, but I've been doing many outdoors and many indoors too, indoor small one, right? It's the same, it's the management. Even indoor is better biosecurity. If you can do like in China, right? Maybe half hectare or quarter hectare pond covered, that would be the best. We were going to do that in Malaysia, but there was a change of management and we never got around to that. Otherwise, they wanted me to do it. I was eager to do it too, right? with the cover. Covering is used just like in China. It's cheaper, and with covered it's better too in a way, from the biosecurity as well as to control the temperature too.
I have another question. May I go ahead?
Yeah, please.
What is for the indoor biofloc with the raceway system?
Raceway.
What is the maximum density you can get in kilograms per cubic meter?
For me, that was long time ago, 2008, 2007, when I did it, I got 5.2 kilo per square meter, right? And this indoor circulation system, raceway system, is done by Sumuka from Texas. He can get maximum is 12 ton per square meter, right? That's why before I joined before I joined Malaysia, one investor, after Sumuka result, they want me to do 10 tons per square meter, which to me, as an R&D, I can do it, 1 or 2 tank. But for about 100 or 50, not easy, right? And again, this is what happened like in Mr. Ray in US Kentucky. He got only 4.72 average. So you can get about, that's what I told the Bali investor, I can do 5 kilo per square meter, right? And he wanted me to do 10, which said I can do 1 or 2 tank, not more than that, not easy. And now in Korea too, they can produce only about 5 or 6 only, not like what Sumuka did, 12 ton, 12 kilos per square meter, not easy. And with R&D, was okay, university. For commercial, so many pond, you need about at least 50 tanks, raceway, then you cannot do, not easy. So the norm now is about 5 tons per square meter is good enough.
Okay, there's one question from Eric Lim. How do you test the immunity of each disease other than injecting it into the shrimp?
Sorry, again?
How do you test the immunity of each disease other than injecting it into the shrimp?
Because you cannot inject in the shrimp, yeah. The shrimp immune system is that you must have not like human being, right? There's no vaccine too. So this is from Korea, what we found, the immune-related genes in the biofloc and 2,000 heterotrophic bacteria in the biofloc water. Before people ask me, I don't know. My answer is I don't know. Now I said, now I know something because of the Korean, what they did on the biofloc. It's one of the PhD thesis too. And they did it because we went there and they are saying we don't have an answer. Not only from me, Professor Yoram don't know, Sumuka don't know, I don't know. So they said they will find out. Okay, very good for us.
Okay, another question by Lim. Are there any antibodies extracted to fight such immunity in a biofloc system, I suppose?
No, we don't do anything. We just try and produce good biofloc, maintain the biofloc, not too much, not too low. Because if you don't, we did many trials, right? And then for the shrimp, when I started it, there was little information. Many information is in tilapia, what Professor Yoram did. So I had to use Professor Yoram protocols. And that's why he tried up to the biofloc volume goes up to about 20, 30 and the shrimp die, cannot, right? So that's why we put it down to our protocol is about 15 is good enough. 15 mils per liter is good enough. And of course, the biofloc must be, if you look under the microscope, They must be swimming about. They are live bioflocs going on. Once become a slush, they will settle in the bottom. You must take it out. Otherwise, this slush will be going around and kill either fish or the shrimp. And we have many information. Our biofloc, we cannot do our shrimp diet. And when I check, the biofloc volume is about 50, 60, just like a fish, which we cannot be like that. They don't know. One thing, remember, the biofloc practical, the book published by Professor Uram, and I was one of the authors in the shrimp, right? Most of the biofloc written there is mainly very good, excellent, is mainly for the fish, right? And then from the academic aspect, which is very good too. But when you use it, make sure I use it because of this kind of book. I make a successful shrimp biofloc system. Shrimp and fish is different. The feed is different. Fish is floating. Shrimp is sinking. And then fish is very active. Shrimp is not active either. So these are the differences. You must make sure that you use the biofloc book, but make sure don't use totally like a fish. This is the main thing. Many complain when I asked they were using the book, and the book they misunderstood.
Okay, one more question from Jewett. Does different carbon source produce different strains of bacteria? Which is more desired carbon source? Or are there newer developed carbon source on trial now with good results?
When I started the shrimp biofloc system, the first thing I asked is about this CN ratio. I asked Professor Uram, right? And according to him, it's not just measuring carbon and nitrogen. It's more complicated. He said, why do you want to do it? You just do it and you get a good biofloc is good enough. Because from me, like you guys there, we are to produce, right? And all the academic, the university will be doing it, right? So what he asked, I really don't know. What I do know is that the biofloc must be, the colony in the biofloc must be alive and swimming, and the volume must be not too high, not too low, right? Minimum is about 5 mil is good enough too. If it is too high, cannot. So I'm on the production side. I use all the academic information. We apply it on the practical side. This is what I'm doing it all the time. You want to know, there are many things you want to know about other things. Then you look in the literature, you can find it. But the protocol, I never change. Like many people want to use the grain pellet I use, it's actually, I use only from the wheat flour, right? It's an animal grade wheat flour. You can broadcast or you can make it into a pellet and use it, right? But other people use rice bran, tapioca, but it's a different story, You can do that too. But my protocol is only using the wheat flour. Every country, I advise every country, I've used it only that wheat flour and molasses.
Are there any more questions? We're about 5 minutes past 5. We can have the last question from the floor. Now we will close the seminar. Any more questions, Kin?
Yes, okay. Dr. Ngiam Tao, how important is temperature control for indoor pond?
Yeah, like agriculture, as long as you can, like outdoor, this is one of the major problems. Temperature is a major problem, right? And like a disease, like a white spot, if temperature is lower than 26, you are in danger, right? When the rain started, that's why Indonesia, the white spot outbreaks are in January, February. This is a rainy season. June, July is a cool season. So you need to try and avoid there. But in the indoor, if you can control, the best temperature will be about 29, 30 is the best. 30, 31 is the best. You can control.
What are the methods used to keep the temperature control? You know, in an indoor system, the volume of the greenhouse or warehouse can be very big. Yeah. So how do you keep the temperature at 30 degrees or 29 degrees centigrade?
Again, right? The indoor system I use in Indonesia, that's in the what call it near Jakarta area, right? It's just the what you call it covered. Covered mean you can cover the tank too. If you cover the tank, the temperature can go up or down, or with the roof you can do. So you just control without using any what you call it heater or anything like that. We just control by covering, just like in the hatcheries. It's a covered building, right? Or maybe at the top, there will be some, you can uncover, get the sunlight and more heat, or you can cover the tank with a sheet. That we can control too. But I never control to be, what do you call it, exact. It's okay. Between 29, 30, 31 is okay, no problem. As long as it don't goes down below 26.
But in the tropics, during the day, the ambient temperature can rise up to about 35 even, isn't it? So how do you, and the heat will be transferred into an indoor system. So, and onto the water.
Yeah, that's a reason in Saudi, the temperature can go up to 35, right? Mm-hmm. And for me, we are in the production side, right? You try to control or you cover or whatever you do. But with the temperature, we try to reduce it to about 30. But according to what I understand, they cannot do it too. So temperature goes up to about 35, maximum 35 sometime. But maybe the growth becomes slower, right? But nothing happened. It reduced. You can see in my graph. Even for salinity, normally the Red Sea salinity is 40 parts per thousand, right? Not like ours. Ours is 35 only, or less than 35. They're 40. So that the salinity goes up to 60. So I told them, control me, you have to change more water, right? If you change water, 40 pp part per thousand will be coming up. If the salinity goes up to about 50, you change more water to reduce the salinity. That's the only way. I never thought they can do it, but they did it. They did it because their system is open. One pond is about 30 hectare, 20 hectare, and water is come in and out all the time. The salinity is always 40, 45 only. But indoor, like you said, it goes up with the ambient temperature. So you need to change some more water than normal. Like in our case here, for the biofloc, we top it up. Water is about, after one harvest, maybe 100% only. But they had to do it about 200% more water exchange to control the salinity and temperature. But it works. It works. Only normal is we can do biofloc 100 days. They're 130 days, more time.
Okay, I think we can accept one more last questions. If not, we'll close the webinar. Any more questions from the attendees?
Is it possible, Dr. Lian Tao, to get 4 harvests a year with a good biofloc system?
How do you mean?
4 harvests. That means every 3 months you harvest, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, full harvest. No, to me, with the biofloc, with maybe indoor, maybe to me, with my experience with from information from many people, three harvests is good enough. You need to give time to prepare everything, to follow the protocol, right? And then for the outside, 2 harvests is good enough, right? And many people make mistake. They want more and more and more and then collapse.
Agree.
Yeah,
Yes.
greedy. Because you must give time in the pond preparation, in water preparation, clean everything. And people always say that, oh, because of the farm is too old. Like in Malaysia, the northern part, the one farm, belongs to Bin Laden family long time ago. The Malaysian government took over. They can never produce. They can never produce since then. And then they were complaining, it's old farm, old farm. And then it's not my job at the time. My job is the new project. Anyway, they asked me, so I have no choice to go and have a look. And I found that it's the best area. Water is taken from 2.5 kilometer from the sea. And then it's a rice field soil. It's the best, right? But the system is, management system is wrong, right? And then they have a big reservoirs. One reservoir is 20 hectare, 2 reservoirs. They never look after the reservoirs. They pump in the good water into the reservoir, which is not looked after, and use that water. So I told them, well, you are using good water, make it bad and use it. So I had to do, and that's what they did. And then I changed everything. Right? You can read it in my one of my articles there. Right? And it's successful, no problem at all. And then another problem at that time is that the hatchery is just nearby, within. The processing plant is within. That's where all the biosecurity come in. Yeah. So the hatchery and cold storage should not be near the farm. That's the main thing, biosecurity purpose. Because the virus can live in the cold storage, in the processed shrimp, -20. Shrimp is dead, the virus is still alive. All right, and that virus can come back into the farm too.
Okay, there's one question from Kumaravel. He says he's joined the session late. I'm recording the session, so I hope my recording session be okay, and I'll be able to send to everybody. The second question, he said, what are the quick steps to reduce nitrate in biofloc system?
Yeah, that's why you need to have. That's why you read those two articles. They give you in details what to do, what step to do, how many to put. It's for the farmers, right? So this is how we do. You follow the protocol first, and you adapt the protocol to your area, right? And this is how we control. We don't have how would you say? I think that's the best way we do. Follow the protocol first, plus or minus 10%. That's it. That's why, because wherever I work, like in CP Indonesia and then Terpesona, on the technology side, I was responsible to make protocol everything. So I told them, okay, we have make a protocol. Everybody understand. We make the protocol together with the production managers for thousands of ponds, and everybody must follow to the letter. If something feel is not right, we will discuss again. So once we have a protocol, we make it into a brochure and everybody follow. Then that works very well. And they cannot say that we don't have protocol. We have a brochure in 1 page, 2 page, 1 paper. So you follow the protocol, and then maybe later on, maybe adapt to your condition. Like I've been doing in Central America, South America, Ecuador, Brazil, China, everywhere. Right? So they follow the protocol and they can adapt themselves to the environment. Like the protocol in Indonesia, I can use it in Indonesia, and then to Malaysia, same protocol, nothing changed.
Syed Hassan asked to share the economic viability of intensive shrimp farming on a commercial scale using biofloc. So I replied to him that we have a full workshop webinar on 18 and 19. That workshop was explain in detail the commercial viability of using biofloc system in shrimp farming. So Syed Hassan, please go into Facebook to register on Zoom. It's a paid webinar. It's not very expensive. In 2 days, Dr. Yantau will share with you in 7 topics the commercial viability of biofloc system for shrimp farming. So please register. So, okay, we are already 5:15. I should be closing the webinar. And thank you everybody for joining in, and hope to see you again on the 18 and 19 for our fully webinar by Dr. Yantau. Thank you, Dr. Yantau, for sharing this session.
Thank you very much.
Very good discussion. And I'll see you again soon. Thank you, Dr. Yantau, King Wong, and all participants.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And
Okay.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now.